blood vessels. What are blood vessels? Blood vessels are the network of tubules throughout the body. So here in this, you're clearly observing the network of tubules that are coming out of the body. So the major bulk of the heart is formed by the aortas. Already we discussed different aortic arches and different blood vessels that are communicating with the heart. These large trunks are giving rise narrow tubules through which blood passes to each and every cell. So blood vessels are nothing but network of tubules throughout the body which permit blood to flow from the heart to all the living cells of the body and then back to the heart. Arteries are the blood vessels blood away from the heart. You please remember this, children. Irrespective of the oxygenation of the blood, arteries are nothing but the blood vessels which transport blood away from the heart. And these arterioles are having large diameter when compared to their respective branches. Means arteries are branching to form with low diameter or less diameter comparatively with the arteries. Those less diameter branches of arteries are called arterioles. The arterioles transport blood to capillaries. Means from arteries to the capillaries, the mediating vessels are the arterioles. Okay, arteries are the blood vessels which have wide diameter, which are branching to form the arterioles with low diameter. These arterioles further branches or further ramifying to form the microscopic blood vessels called capillaries. So these capillaries are very minute and extending deep into the narrow spaces of the cells or into the intercellular spaces. The capillaries mainly help in gas exchange and solutes, that is the nutrients and other waste products are also exchanged between the tissues and the capillaries. Okay, arteries are the large branches of branches of blood vessels which have wide diameter, which ramify to form arterioles with low diameter. Arterioles again ramify to form the microscopic branches called capillaries. Next, veins. The capillaries which are arising from the arterioles, means arteries are ending with the, here you can see arteries ends with capillaries. These capillaries further they unite to form the other structures or other branches called venules, which together unite to form veins. Means between veins and arteries, venules and arterioles, there are the mediating branches or microscopic structures called capillaries. Venules are the blood vessels that drain blood from capillaries into the larger veins. Larger veins are nothing but branches or the union. The venules are united to form branch structures called veins. The venules are draining blood from capillaries into the veins. These veins return blood to the heart through the system of vena cava. System of vena cava means precaval veins we have and one postcaval vein. Into the system of vena cava, all the veins are opening, and even pulmonary veins are also there. They are opening into the left atrium. I'll repeat again. Arteries are the blood vessels with high diameter or with large diameter which transport blood away from the heart. They ramify to form arterioles with low diameter which transport blood to capillaries. Arterioles divide to form capillaries with very minute lumen, and they are the microscopic vessels. These capillaries further unite to form venules, and venules unite to form veins which finally open into the heart. Next is vasa vasorum. Vasa vasorum is nothing but these are the vessels of the vessels or vessels within the vessels. Means as the blood vessels are working continuously to pump blood, they also undergo contraction and relaxations for pumping the blood throughout the body. So for their continuous action, they need continuous supply of energy. That continuous supply of energy is again supplied through the blood. So blood vessels are in turn supplied by the blood capillaries. They are nothing but the vasovasorum. We'll discuss in the next slides. We'll move on. First, arteries. So arteries, just now I told you, these are the blood vessels that deliver oxygen-rich blood from heart to the tissues of the body. So arteries are the blood vessels that deliver oxygen-rich blood and also the nutrient-rich blood to the tissues of the body. Each artery is a muscular tube lined by smooth muscle and the tissues. The largest aorta, the largest artery is called aorta, which is coming out of the heart. Already we discussed in the internal structure of heart. There are two aortic arches, pulmonary aorta and systemic aorta. Systemic aorta is the largest artery. And this is the main high pressure pipeline connected to the heart's ventricle. So here this is the schematic representation of branching of arteries. Aorta branches to form arteries, arteries branches to form arterioles, and arterioles again further branch to form capillaries. Wall of artery, number of layers that are forming the artery wall are 3: tunica externa, tunica media, and tunica interna. Tunica is nothing but the layer. Okay, all these are the Latin terms. Tunica externa means external layer or outer layer. Tunica media means media. Tunica interna means the inside, innermost layer that is forming the wall of artery. Tunica externa, what are the composition, structural components of the different layers of the wall of artery? Let's see. Tunica externa is formed by elastic and collagen fibers. So these are nothing but a type of connective tissue. Remember this entire thing is important for your need purpose. Tunica externa is formed by elastic and collagen fibers, which is nothing but a connective tissue. The tunica media, the middle layer, is formed by circular smooth muscles and external elastic lamina. What are the layers present in tunica media? Circular smooth muscles and external elastic lamina. Tunica interna is formed by internal elastic lamina and basement membrane and endothelium, which is the innermost layer. Whenever we come across with the term endothelium, endothelium is nothing but it is a type of simple squamous epithelium. The simple squamous epithelium is nothing but the epithelium with single row of cells. So always the simple squamous epithelium helps in transportation or diffusion of the substances. Clear? So let's see how these layers are arranged in the next slide. So this is the longitudinal section of the artery, which is clearly showing the arrangement of different layers. As I told you, the artery wall has 3 layers: tunica externa, this is the outermost layer, tunica externa; tunica media, the middle layer, which is formed by smooth muscles; and tunica interna. So if you observe the structure of this artery, inside the artery there is a lumen. We'll come from inside to outside. The artery has a lumen or empty space. So that lumen is filled with the blood. The empty space or the innermost lining of the artery is formed by single layered cell or tissue called squamous epithelium, that is nothing but the endothelium. So whenever you observe the endothelial cells, they rest on a basement membrane. Always the epithelial cells rest on basement membrane. So the endothelium, which is resting on basement membrane. So I told you what are the different layers of tunica interna: internal elastic lamina, basement membrane, and endothelium. Here in this image you can clearly observe this is the endothelium, which is nothing but the simple squamous epithelium. The cells are resting on basement membrane. Outside the basement membrane of this tunica interna, there is an elastic lamina that is called internal elastic lamina. So please note down the position of internal elastic lamina. Internal elastic lamina is forming the outer margin or outer surface of the basement membrane of tunica interna. Okay, internal elastic lamina is forming the outer margin or outer layer of the basement membrane of tunica interna. Next layer is the tunica media. Tunica media is formed by rings of smooth muscles, especially the circular muscles. They are not the longitudinal muscles, okay? Tunica media is formed by rings of smooth muscles called circular muscles. And we can position the internal elastic lamina in another sense, that internal elastic lamina is forming the inner layer of tunica media. So I'll repeat again. Internal elastic lamina is forming the outer margin of the basement membrane of tunica interna, or it is forming the inner layer of the tunica media. In other sense, we can also say internal elastic lamina is present between tunica interna and tunica media. This is a simple way of expression. Okay, tunica interna and tunica media are having a middle layer or partition called internal elastic lamina. Next, outermost layer is the tunica externa. Tunica externa is formed by which layer? It is formed by elastic collagen fibers or connective tissues. So this tunica externa is having one more lining of elastic lamina, that is called external elastic lamina. So whenever you get the terms internal and external, external means outside, internal means inside. External elastic lamina is forming the inner layer of the tunica externa. In other sense, we can say external elastic lamina is formed between tunica media and tunica externa. So between tunica externa and tunica media, there is external elastic lamina, and between tunica media and tunica interna, there is internal elastic lamina. So means how many elastic laminas are forming the wall of artery layer? Two elastic laminas are forming. Number of elastic laminas that are forming or lining the wall of arteries are two. Remember this. Okay, I hope this is clear for you. Next, coming to veins. So in this image, you can observe these blue colored structures which are extending throughout the body. So just now I told you arteries are the blood vessels which carry blood away from the heart. Then what are veins? Veins are the blood vessels which carry blood towards the heart. Means these are the collecting vessels. Arteries are the distributing vessels, whereas veins, and these veins are less muscular when compared to arteries. Means the thickness of the wall of veins is very less due to the presence of less muscles or less number of circular muscles. And they are characterized by the presence of valves. So valves are present in the lumen of the veins. And blood pressure is also very less due to the presence of, what is the reason why blood pressure is less? Means presence of less number of smooth muscles, and blood in veins is not pumped by the heart. They are the receiving blood vessels which are receiving blood from the capillaries. So as the capillaries are having very low pressure, the same thing is happening into the veins and venules. So blood pressure in the veins is very less. Rate of flow increases from smaller to larger veins. Smaller veins are nothing but capillaries which are united to form venules, and venules are united to form veins, and which in turn they are forming vena cava. So as we are going up or we are going to the larger sized veins, blood pressure or flow of blood also increases. And these are low elastic. Veins are low elastic Why they are low elastic? I will let you know the reason in the next slide. And there is no exchange of materials takes place in the veins. So here you can see the valves are having, veins are having valves. Just now I told you. So what are the type of valves present in the veins? The valves present in the veins are semilunar valves. Remember this? Semilunar valves are present in the veins and venules. Why these valves are absent in the arteries and why they are present in the veins? Because in arteries, blood is flowing from heart to each and every cell. Means that is towards the gravitational force. So there is no chance of backward flow from the tissues. But here in the case of veins, the blood is flowing against the gravitational force. So the blood has to move from toe to the chest cavity. So as the blood is moving against the gravitational force, there is a chance of backward flow of blood again back to the tissues. That's why to prevent backward flow in the veins, they are having valves, semilunar valves, which allow only unidirectional movement of flow. As there is no heart for pumping blood into the veins, how the blood is pumped to the capillaries and veins from the tissues? Yes, the skeletal muscles which we have in the body, by the contraction and relaxation of the skeletal muscles, the veins are squeezed. As they are squeezing, blood is moved with high pressure in the veins. So this is the reason. As we are moving, we are doing locomotion and movement, the skeletal muscles undergo contractions and relaxations which allow or which exert pressure on the veins for the flow of blood. And due to the gravitational force, the blood flow may return back to the tissues. That's why to prevent this, the valves are preventing backward flow. That's why veins are fixed. Next, we'll see. Just now I told you valves are less elastic. Why these veins are less elastic? Because veins are also having three layers in the wall. The wall of veins also formed by three layers. They are tunica externa, tunica media, and tunica interna. This is the tunica externa, tunica media, and tunica interna. Here you can observe there is only one elastic lamina. Where is this present? Between tunica media and tunica interna, only one elastic lamina is present. There is no external elastic lamina. That's why due to the presence of single elastic lamina layer, the veins are less elastic when compared to arteries. Clear, children? So remember, number of elastic laminas are two in the wall of arteries and one in the wall of veins. That is the reason arteries are more elastic than the veins. Remaining all are same. The three layers are present like that of arteries, tunica externa, tunica media, and tunica interna, and the structural components are also similar when compared to the arteries. So this diagram is clearly showing you the connecting vessels between arteries and veins are the branched microscopic vessels, nothing but the capillaries. It's always arteries branch to form arterioles with less diameter, and arterioles further ramify or branch to form microscopic capillaries. Means arteries always ends with capillaries. And these capillaries further branched and forming capillaries and which unite to form venules. Venules further unite to form large veins. Means veins always begin with capillaries, whereas all arteries always ends with capillaries. So what are capillaries? What is the difference between capillary and the arteries? These are the branches of arteries and the veins. Means arteries are branched further and further to form the microscopic branches which are extending and communicating with each and every cell. One more difference between capillaries of artery and capillaries of veins is the artery capillaries help in exchange of substances, but there is no exchange, means only the receiving takes place. Receiving is taking place by the capillaries of the veins, but whereas arteries are exchanging the substances. Capillaries are the less diameter or least diameter vessels with only one cell thick. The wall of capillaries is formed by only one layer. Arteries and veins are forming three layers, whereas in the wall of capillary only one layer is formed, that is nothing but the endothelium. This endothelium is lining the capillaries and inside the chambers, and also this is forming lining the valves of the heart. Okay, so capillaries are least diameter vessels with only one cell thick, and they have very dense network. They are forming very dense network in the tissues. Capillaries are forming very dense network, and these capillaries are reaching all cells of the body. How the diameter of these capillaries is controlled? The diameter of the capillary can be controlled by change in the shape of the cells, nervous stimulation causing constriction. Chemicals like histamine cause dilation. So capillaries constriction and dilation is depending on neural as well as chemical control. And before starting of the capillaries, they have certain sphincters called precapillary sphincters. Precapillary sphincters are nothing but the muscle layer which is present in the arteriole wall. Arteriole wall muscle layers are forming precapillary sphincters to reduce the pressure while the blood is flowing from arterioles into the capillaries, because as the capillaries are having very thin lining, if the blood pressure is high as like that of the arteries and arterioles, there is a chance of damage of the capillary wall, because as they are formed by one cell thick squamous epithelium. To reduce the pressure flow of blood from arterioles into the capillaries, there are certain check posts which are present between arterioles and the capillaries, nothing but precapillary sphincters formed by the muscles of arteriole wall. So capillaries are highly permeable, which help in exchange of water and dissolved substances. They can pass easily through the wall of the capillaries. Exchange of digested food, oxygen and carbon dioxide also takes place between capillaries and the tissues. And these are the site of exchange of materials. No valves are seen in the capillaries. Remember this, students, no valves are present. And blood pressure is also very low. Slow rate of flow and to allow exchange of the materials. Why the blood flow is very slow? If the blood pressure is high, the exchange of materials will not take properly between the tissues and the cells. So as the blood is moving slowly, as the blood flow or pressure decreases, due to low pressure of the capillary, the exchange of substances will be easily facilitated between tissues and the capillaries. And pulse rate cannot be detected. You know pulse rate, and you discussed, you are familiar with the pulse rate in your 10th class itself, heart rate and pulse rate. So pulse rate is cannot be detected with the capillaries. Let's see the TS of arteries, veins and capillaries. Just now I told you the wall of artery is thick when compared to the veins, because the only difference is artery wall is formed by more number of circular rings called circular muscles, but the muscular wall of vein is very is formed by with less number of muscles. So the lumen or diameter of the artery is less when compared to the lumen of the vein. Means veins are having wide lumen when compared to arteries, and capillaries are having very relatively less lumen when compared to the veins. So the reason behind the thickness of the walls is number of muscles present in the tunica media. Vasa vasorum. What is vasa vasorum? I told you the blood vessels which are transporting blood to each and every cell, they require continuous supply of energy for the contraction and relaxation of the circular muscle layer. Tunica media is formed by circular muscle layers which undergo contractions and relaxations. So those contractions and relaxations require more supply of energy for proper functioning of blood vessels. They are further supplied with more blood vessels called vasa vasorum. Vasa vasorum is a network of small blood vessels that supply the walls of large blood vessels such as elastic arteries and the veins. Here in this image you can observe this is a wall of artery which is supplied with a network of small blood vessels. So these network of small blood vessels, again there are also two types, arteries and veins. So which arteries are supplying nutrient and oxygen rich blood to the wall of artery, and the veins are collecting carbon dioxide rich and waste products from the wall of the artery. So the wall of artery which is supplied with small network of tubes called vasa vasorum. Remember this. Let's see the differences between arteries and veins. Students, this is very, very important for you for 4 marks question. Please, you have to read this like anything. What are the differences between arteries and veins? Just now we discussed entire structure of arteries and their branches, veins and their branches. Let's see the difference. Arteries are the blood vessels which carry oxygenated blood away from the heart, whereas veins carry deoxygenated blood towards the heart. Arteries are bright red in color, veins are dark red in color. And arteries are mostly deeply seated and veins are generally superficial. So let me ask you a question. Whenever you go to a hospital or any labs, pathological labs, if the doctor advise you to get for any blood test, the lab assistant will take out blood from your body. Tell me from which blood vessels the lab assistant is collecting blood from your body. Yes, veins. So if you observe your hands or just below the skin, you can find some greenish colored branches. They are nothing but the veins. Generally, veins are subcutaneous or they are superficial, whereas arteries are deeply seated. They are present inside the muscles. If the lab assistant collect blood from the veins, if any puncture occurs to the artery, that results in highly fountain of blood, means the blood is flowing with high pressure in the arteries. That's why the blood will not be collected from the arteries. So as the blood pressure is very low in the veins and they are superficial, it is very easy to collect blood from the veins. The arteries are thick walled, as the tunica media is relatively thick and veins are thin walled. Lumen is narrow in arteries, lumen is wide. This is also reason because of the presence of difference in the number of muscles in the tunica media. Arteries are non-valvular, means valves are absent, whereas veins are having valves, that's why they are valvular. Blood in arteries flows with more pressure and by jerks. Blood in veins flows steadily with relatively low pressure. And finally, arteries end with capillaries, whereas veins start with capillaries. This is very important for your 4 marks question.